it's more practical. It can be used for
I feel like it's more interesting for creating games and stuff.
like video.
Oh, that's why.
Yeah, I think if we do VR,
So dumb.
crazy. Yeah. And she's able to grab one of the little table books. Yeah, you don't have you have to go into that top section and then everybody's cool. I don't have cables on here to watch it. Of course, I heard about other things.
I think I'm recording.
Who cares?
How do I know if it's recording?
Sorry?
How do I know if it's recording?
Oh, I think I paused it.
Oh.
Yeah.
No, it's going. If it says pause or stop, then it's fine. How's that for professionals? Nope. Okay, so why don't we go ahead and get started? You've made it all the way to the end of the day. Congratulations, everybody. And so our final topic today is going to be 360 video. Is there anybody that's planning on doing a 360 video project? Okay, one. Cool. The rest of you? So let's start out with defining what is 360 video. Well, it is a video that gives you an entire view of the world around you. So you can turn in any direction, you can look up, you can look down. In some cases, companies put logos in their cameras at the bottom, sometimes they put them at the top. But for the most part, you can pretty much look in any direction and you're gonna see everything that's going on around you. So a couple of examples. CNN just launched a VR channel on their website, which gives you news stories that have been done in VR. I will agree to that. And in this case, it's browser-based. So we've got this gentleman standing in front of us speaking, but at the same time, using your browser, you can just click and hold and drag and see what's going on up in the sky, get a look at the world around you. This is in the Philippines, I think. And the New York Times has a similar thing with their news channel. And also, more examples, you can go to YouTube and just type in 360 video. This one is some samurais, supposedly. They're going to battle it out if it ever loads. Nope, I just paused it. All right, gentlemen, start battling it out. There we go. Buffering. Okay, well, anyway, you get it. Thanks, YouTube. Oh, there he goes. Now see if I don't pause it, then it's going to play in the background the entire time. Okay. Yeah, here we go. So those are a few places that you can not only get examples, but you can also get some training in there. So when it comes to watching 360 video, well, you got a few options. First one is Google Chrome. Safari does not support it. I don't know why, but they don't. So your best bet is, does Firefox? I don't know. Anyway, yeah. Okay, Google Chrome, Firefox, those are, you can watch it in your browser like we did, click and drag and look around. The second option is Google Cardboard, if you have one of those. The YouTube app, if you already have it downloaded to your phone, you can do a search on there. And then if you turn your phone sideways, the little Google Cardboard icon will be at the bottom. If you touch that, it goes into cardboard mode. You can stick your phone in the cardboard and look around just like as if you were clicking and dragging. Or you can use another of a myriad third-party VR headsets that are available. You can buy them at Toys R Us. You can buy them at maybe Target, maybe Best Buy, but definitely at Amazon or any of the kind of the big box retailers. So why 360 video? that's an excellent question. First off, it gives you more of an immersive environment than if you were just watching a video in front of you. I mean, you've all been to the movies, you've all watched TV. You know, in your peripheral vision, you're still seeing everything, the rest of your life around that box. But when you're in the 360 environment, either through cardboard or with one of the headsets, it's just, you've got that whole world. You are in that world, you're a part of the world. And it gives you more of a sense of presence, not so much as if you were doing interactive VR, but it's going to give you more of a sense of presence than if you were just sitting in a dark room looking at the screen. And 360 video is an excellent way of displaying locations, such as we just saw that gentleman in the Philippines. You get a real good sense of the world around you. You know, he's standing there speaking, but you've got people walking past. You can kind of follow them with your vision. And also narratives. If any of you have done, there's an app called Within you can download, iOS and Android. They've got some short films. Some of them are narrative, and some of them are just like, there's a couple music videos, there's a couple of like documentary having to do with nature or news, things like that. But it's creating a narrative that is more immersive than if you were, again, sitting in a movie theater watching something. The one that I'm thinking of is called Catatonic on Within, and it's a short horror film where you are in a wheelchair being pushed through a sanitarium. So it's haunted. So you can't move, so it's more of a passive experience because you can't necessarily interact with the things that are there, but you also can't escape the things that are there. So you're stuck in that position, and you can choose where to look, but there's stuff going on everywhere you're looking. And one thing to keep in mind with 360 video, if you are going to go the narrative route, is when you're watching a movie, wherever the camera is pointed, they're directing your attention to what they want you to see. When you have a 360 video, it's a different convention because they don't get to dictate what you see. You get to dictate what you see. So you can look in any direction you want to. So if you're doing a narrative film, come up with some ideas of how you can direct the viewer's attention, whether it's through sound, whether it's through things on screen. We did, it's not an example, demonstration of the VR, the HTC Vive to one of the professors in the CTVA department. And in the particular one that we showed, you're like out on a lake, and it's very serene, it's very nice, there's mountains, there's trees in the background, nice cloudy sky. And out of nowhere, a train comes, like tearing across the lake. So he wasn't looking the direction that the train was going. He was just like, the train's coming behind him, and he's just kind of looking around like this, totally missed it. Not, maybe it was because he didn't have headphones on, I don't know, but he was like admiring the scenery just. So that's something to keep in mind, is you need to be able to direct their attention to what you want them to see. And the viewer's attention. I'm way far away from this thing, by the way. So if you're going to be shooting in 360 video, you have a few different options. The first one is you can use, and Jake showed some of these, and I'm going to show you this one. You can use 360 cameras that are specifically designed to capture. They kind of come in a few different flavors. There's the one that he mentioned that was cheaper, where it's got two 180-degree fisheye lenses on each side, so capturing everything. This one is a little bit different. This one just has the fisheye on top, and it will capture all the way around with the exception of like whatever it's sitting on, it'll capture everything except like the tabletop here. So that's an important thing to keep in mind. If you like, if you set it on the ground, it looks great. If you set it on a table or something, it looks great. And there's no stitching that needs to be done. The video is captured to an SD card that's inside of here. And I think you have about 2 hours of recording. And that's battery as well as card space. And it comes out as an MP4 file, and it's rectangular. So it's going to take it, and it's going to be rectangle 2D when you see it. It's going to look all swirly and weird. But you can upload that into, oh, actually, I'll go into that in a little bit. There's no stitching involved. You can put it into your editing software, edit it, and then export it from there. And we also mentioned GoPro rigs, where you can have multiple GoPros mounted. That one would require stitching, so there would be, you would need some additional software in order to do that. I don't think Premiere does that. You'd probably have to buy a third-party plugin. Question?
What are the cameras called in your hand?
This is called a 360 Fly.
Okay.
We bought this maybe a year ago. So this one is the 360 Fly HD, which does 1080 by whatever the, yeah, something. Well, it's in a circle, so it's like 2550 by 1080 or something like that. They do have a 4K version that they came out with recently, and so it's going to give you a better quality image.
Like stick a bunch of those around the ball, or does that do it itself?
No, this just does it itself.
Oh wow.
Yeah, so it's going to capture everything, and I can show you. I'll show you an example of that in a second. So this is the 360 Fly. This is one that we've used. I'll show you what I did with it. We did a promo for the Seasun Food Garden. Did everybody know that there's a Seasun Food Garden?
Where is this food garden?
Nice. It's back over by the sports field.
Wow.
Is it kind of by the dorms, kind of by the high school?
Yeah, it's the soccer training field.
There you go. Okay, so this is something that we produced. Let's see. Sure.
To a virtual tour of the Seasun Food Garden. The food garden is fully operated and maintained by students and volunteers. Last academic year, more than 500 students visited or participated in garden activities.
So now if you were watching this in your Google Cardboard, you could just be looking around everywhere and deciding what you want to see and having to click.
Workshops, work days, outdoor lectures, and hands-on projects. The food garden is coordinated by the Institute.
So going back to what we were saying in a previous slide about it being good for examining locations, I mean, this is, you get a good sense of where this is, which is by the soccer practice field. And yeah, so that's an example. That's what we shot with this camera here. And then, okay. Oops. Okay, so you've got your video. How do you edit? You can use Adobe Premiere Pro, and as a matter of fact, that's what I would recommend that you use. It is available in the Creative Media Studio in the library if you don't have your own copy. They have it installed on the iMacs that are there. And the reason I recommend it is you can use Final Cut Pro. I was doing a little bit of research. It doesn't, Final Cut Pro natively have VR support within the app or within the program itself. Adobe Premiere Pro does. So when we mentioned that you would take your square image off of there, you can put it in your video editor. It does have a VR monitoring mode in your window, so you can select that, and then you can drag in that window and see in all the different directions to make sure everything looks okay. You can use transitions like you would. There was a crossfade in, or a dissolve in the food garden video in a few different places as we kind of moved around to different locations. And the dissolve works everywhere. You can put text in there. One thing to note with text is that because the size is odd, you do have to shrink it down quite a bit, but it still works great. So it's like you're editing a regular video. It just happens to be 360. And then when you're done and you're ready to export, and I would highly recommend using YouTube as your distribution app because it's streamlined really well to work with 360 video. So when you're exporting, you can export directly from Adobe Premiere into YouTube, and it has a little checkbox that says VR. Checkbox, upload it, done, taken care of. It's in 360. If they just want to use their phone and go like this, they can do that. If they want to use Google Cardboard, they can do that. It doesn't require you to like marry the metadata to the video itself before uploading to YouTube. If you are using Final Cut Pro, or if you do have another editing suite that you would want to use, you can still do that. You can still export it. You just need to do a quick Google search for YouTube 360 metadata. YouTube makes it widely available. You can run it through the little program that they have to put the metadata in there, then upload to YouTube, and you've got the same thing. So there's an extra step, and it's a little more difficult, but not impossible.
Also use special effects in 360 video.
Yes, but it's going to require plugins. So you can use After Effects as well to either generate environments or do text effects, do special effects, anything you want to do. There is a plugin that's required in order to do that, and there is a financial cost to that. They may have a free trial. I don't know.
You can also check out some of the apps maybe that Jake showed. I wonder if you had some text or something in there. I don't know, but I would just check it out.
I believe it's called Metal, M-E-T-T-L-E.
Yeah, Metal is really
That's one of them that you can use in After Effects. Oh, that's my last one. Okay, so any questions about 360 video? Yeah.
How would you go about trying to, for the garden, you say you transition, you dissolve to get different areas of the garden? What if you just wanted to do that in one whole?
Yeah, absolutely. You can do it in one whole thing. We didn't have access to any type of Steadicam device, so it would have been one of us holding it. But absolutely, you can do long takes, anything like that. Put it on some sort of moving platform, and because this blocks out the bottom, I mean, you could raise something up where it would be able to, you could move it, and it would obscure what it is that it's now. And then, yeah, you wouldn't really need to do anything. Just do one long take. That film that I mentioned earlier, Catatonic, that's all done. Well, they're cheating it. It's not actually just one take, but there is a significant span of the opening. It's all done in one take. Yep.
So I noticed something with like 360 video. A lot of times it's better, like what you're saying with like the wheelchair one, where it's like very smooth, like solid, something like that, or on a tripod. But if you were to like move it around, not on a very like stable surface, that it triggers motion sickness so fast.
Oh wow, yeah.
On with the headset, like if the camera's shaking, like there's videos of people like on like roller coasters with it, and it's fine when you're just there holding it. But then they want to move it around, and then you get like
it becomes like unnatural.
It's because it's like your head's moving off of your shoulders to somewhere else, and it just feels really weird.
I know.
You see the body.
Yep.
How much is that one exactly?
Excellent question. Let's look it up. Nope, that's 36 fly. That is not a good camera.
Could have been worse, actually.
Oh, $299.
Right.
That's at Best Buy.
Yes, I'm already
Well,
there.
I mean,
Yeah, I don't know. That looks like that's actually the. Oh no, here's the 4K. So the 4K is $499. The high def one is $299.
Okay.
And I have to say, it's for not knowing anything about 360 video when we got this, the learning curve was really nice. Very, very friendly to us. It comes with this base. It comes with a couple of them with adhesives. You can mount it to like a helmet. You can mount it to another surface. It charges. It's actually waterproof also. It comes with a little plug, so it'll plug the hole. It charges on a little cradle that you plug in your computer, and it's all down there. And it comes with some editing software. You can do little tweaks, like desaturate the color, add some music, stuff like that. I mean, it's you're better off using something like Premiere Pro, but it does come with some software.
Mm-hmm. You can use your cell phone to turn it on.
Yeah, you can use it remotely. You can even do a live feed as you're shooting to your iPhone or iPad. It creates a Wi-Fi signal that you can download the app, connect to it as a Wi-Fi, and then you can do a live view of what it is, and you can drag around and see all the different perspectives. So it's it's pretty neat device, and it does record sound as well. But if you want to do a remote audio feed, you can do that as well. Any other questions? Everybody's excited about 360?
Okay, so if there's no more questions, I just want to go over a few things for Canvas, and then we'll be done with it. Do you guys feel more confident after today?
No?
We appreciate your honesty.
Yeah.
Well, you don't have to use the whole. You pick the ones you want.